protective order in the January 6th case.
Special counsel Jack Smith, of course, has made the case that this needs to be in place because Trump has a tendency to attack witnesses, to attack judges, to attack lawyers, for example, involved in this case. So the reality of this is that the deadline for Trump's team to respond is 5 p.m. today, and this is after they tried to delay this deadline. The judge over the weekend denied that and said the Trump legal team does have to respond again by close of business today. So we'll see the arguments that they make in their filing.
ABC's Catherine Folders. A judge in Minneapolis sentenced former police officer Tu Tao to nearly 5 years in prison for failing to prevent the death of George Floyd. The Pentagon deployed reconnaissance aircraft and warships off Alaska last week, where Russia and China were conducting military training exercises. This is ABC News.
Embarrassed by ugly yellow toe fungus?
Living with toe fungus it's embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off. I hid my yellow and crumbly toes from everybody.
Introducing Crystal Flush. Crystal Flush is the only FDA-registered 2-in-1 home treatment that attacks your toe fungus from both the inside and out. Crystal Flush's new and different combination system knocks out toe fungus for good. Guaranteed.
Crystal Flush is different. After just a few weeks, my fungus was gone. 100% disappeared. Crystal Flush was the only thing that ever worked. So if you're skeptical because you tried a bunch of other stuff, Crystal Flush is different. This is a game changer.
Crystal Flush is now available without a prescription, but it is not available in stores. Get your risk-free supply today. Go to crystalflush.com. That's CRYSTAL flush.com. Stop being embarrassed by ugly yellow toenails. Go to crystalflush.com or call 800-204-4484.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Here at Total Wine & More, you'll find what you love and love what you find. I like this flavored gin, but want something new? You'll love this one. Wow! Oh, you're good. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. Pickup and delivery available at TotalWine.com. Drink responsibly, B21.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
It's the Mcfarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Oh, righty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
And a good Monday afternoon to you. And yes, it is time for the Mcfarland Show. Darren and Justin in the house. Hope everybody had a great weekend.
Yes, sir.
It's good to be back. Justin, how we doing?
Welcome back. Doing great, man. How are you?
I'm glad to be back.
Good to see you.
Still a little wobbly.
Okay, now you have to tell the people where you went because I decided not to tell your business in the street. So,
okay. Well, we did a cruise. We went down to we started in Charleston, South Carolina, which I was really impressed with the room, by the way, here at the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. That the history lesson on Charleston was quite impressive. Intern Alec in here, he's he's a college student. He's getting ready to graduate soon. This is going to be his last week with us, but
sad.
I know. We tried to get him to do online stuff, and Michigan State was just unwilling to bend.
I understand.
And so he's going back to
They got use for him up there, apparently.
I guess so. But he knew you knew your history. He knew his history, because we had all day Saturday before we were coming back because we got off the ship or the boat, the cruise ship. I guess they like for you to call it a ship, not a boat. Okay. I don't know why.
I think it's bigger than just your average boat.
Okay, so just
they
want bigger.
Classifications.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we had all day. We got off at 9 o'clock, and we didn't have a flight till 6 o'clock. So we had
you had some time
all day to hang out in Charleston, which I'd never been to. It's a cool little town, man. Lots of history.
Yeah.
So man, those houses. We were walking around. We had a friend that lives there, and she was giving us the tour, and I was like, man, this place has got to be haunted. It's got to be. Because, like, every house is, like, 300 years old. And it's like, man, there's so many people that have died in these neighborhoods. Yeah, this city. And she's like, oh, they have ghost tours galore.
Well, I'm sure.
And I was like, yeah, I'm not surprised.
I took one when I was there. It was a great time.
And there you go.
It was so fun.
So you took one?
Yeah. To one of the graveyards there.
Okay. Yeah. That's another thing.
Yep.
That's a different kind of fun.
And then they have the old Charleston jail where they do tours. And you can do walking tours around the town, like at night, get all the spooky out of you.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. She showed us the church she attends. They have a cemetery that just in the, on the grounds.
Yeah. Just there for the members. Yeah.
No, this place is definitely haunted.
Yeah.
But the houses are amazing. I mean, they're huge and they're old, and they've been, and apparently they're very much a stickler on, like the aesthetics of the outside, right?
Yes.
Like it has to look a certain way.
Yes.
Basically
tradition.
The Charleston code.
Yes.
It seemed like a very snooty town. Is what it seemed like. Just a very
snooty town.
It did. It felt snooty.
Felt up in the air a little bit.
It did a little bit. Like, oh, we're from Charleston. You just better behave.
Oh,
this
Nashville,
is Charleston.
huh?
Oh, you guys just
it's a party town.
You guys just party and have fun. Let's go have lunch.
Yeah, we do serious things here in Charleston. serious things.
Yes, we're very much more serious.
Like we sip tea
here in Charleston.
Yes.
Went to the Bahamas too, and so that was fun.
All right.
But just good to be back home, man. Good to be back home.
Yeah.
People that just go on long vacations, I mean, that's great, but I don't know. I'm just always the type, which is how I knew I was always living in the right place. You've been gone a certain amount of time. Like, I'm ready to come home. Like, I've had fun, but I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah, you can't live on vacation.
No, and I know some people, they're perfectly fine with that. They would be like, yeah, if I lived on vacation, that would be cool.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I didn't say you're wrong. That's just not me.
Yeah, you don't want to
live
on vacation.
I enjoy it, but when it's time to go, it's time to go. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's get home. Congratulations to Nolensville. The boys from Nolensville.
They got it done.
The boys and girl from Nolensville.
Been the hero.
Was her name Stella?
Yes.
Right? They got it done today. They needed to win. They had to beat Georgia, who they lost to on Saturday, and they took care of it. A little shutout today.
They got the win over Virginia yesterday.
They
yesterday.
got
the win over Georgia.
And the shutout victory today, 4-0 over Georgia. Which,
I didn't realize
of course,
it was shutout. Okay.
Yeah, and that's where they are in Warner Robins. And they play Florida. So they were on ESPN this morning, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
It was awesome. I was watching the game. It was great. And they will play the team from Florida tomorrow. And that is it. The winner is going to Williamsport. The loser is coming home.
Wow.
Kind of like my vacation when it's over.
It's a lot.
You're coming home. You're going home.
Whew. It's a little bit of pressure there.
Well, they've been in this spot before. I mean, they're used to this.
Well, yeah, I guess so. With the trip to Williamsport on the line, though, here, and the winner go home. Like, win or you get everything that you've been playing all season for, lose, and it kind of falls flat. Kind of leaves the ugly taste in your mouth. Sort of like the women's soccer team. They were saying very similar things this morning, that they couldn't believe that they were actually going home after their loss over the weekend in the Women's World Cup. So the first time they've gone home this early almost ever.
Not almost ever.
Ever.
It's their earliest exit ever.
Not almost.
No,
ever.
It's not almost.
Ever.
It's not kinda.
Okay.
It's not maybe. No, it's the worst.
Trying to be.
Yeah, no. It's
trying to be nice
it's
about
just,
it.
It is what it is.
Right,
I mean,
it is. I guess so.
There's no reason to be nice about it. It's the facts. They're going home the earliest they've ever gone home.
Yeah.
And I think it was also the lowest amount of goals they've ever scored, too.
Yeah, they couldn't put the biscuit in the basket for nothing.
They couldn't.
They could not find the back of that net. They just couldn't do it. Maybe the other team was just that much better, the goalies or whatever. They didn't have enough spin or hook or whatever. It was not working for them this entire tournament. I mean, I don't know if they scored over 2 goals in any games they even played. I mean, it was bad. It was bad for them. Good defense, I suppose, but offensively, it was awful, just awful.
Because in your TV world, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but here we go. I'm going to go briefly.
All right.
Just because this is my observation.
Let me know when we get too deep.
Okay. It seems like there were a lot of players on this team that have been very outspoken. We know that. And divisive, okay? And it seemed at times political.
Oh,
I didn't get the vibe that people cared about this team like they cared about the previous teams. It almost it felt like, dare I say, and I don't really want to put words in people's mouths because I'm just saying is the vibe. It just felt like some people were I can't imagine getting to this point this mad, but it's almost like they were rooting against them. Is that
wouldn't go
fair
that
or
far,
unfair?
but
Too far?
There was a lack of buzz with this team.
It definitely was not covered like they've been covered in the past.
No, there was a total lack of buzz with this team.
But there's a reason for that. And I think it's because of what I'm bringing up.
But possibly. But, I also wonder if our soccer appetite has changed a little bit here in the last few years in that we have consumed, I think, way more soccer in this country than maybe we ever have before. So maybe it just felt like the women's game wasn't as special as maybe it had been in years past where we were kind of looking forward to it because we thought they were going to do well.
That's an interesting take because I would probably be on the opposite side going, well, this is probably the most popular soccer has been in this country since I've been alive.
Yes. The sport is popular.
The appetite is there more than it's ever been.
Yes.
In my opinion.
The sport is popular.
And yet it felt like people just weren't that into this team.
Yeah, the sport is popular, but this particular rendition of them was not very popular for whatever the reason.
Well, I mean, it's because of what I'm bringing up. That's the reason. I mean,
I haven't felt that, but I mean, listen.
If you read everything
I'm not in the right circle, I don't think, for this because it's. Yeah, I know what you're speaking of. I'm definitely aware of some of the things and some of the issues that the particular team has taken up over the last couple of years. I'm very aware. I get it, but I don't know if that. Like I haven't heard anyone say that. I haven't heard I'm not cheering for them because, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think I'm in the right circle.
Did you give up social media while I was gone?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
I'm just not following the right thing.
You're not on it anymore?
I'm not following the right thing.
Did you give it a break at least for a week?
I think I did actually for a little bit. I had to get another phone and stuff. But yeah, it's a thing where, I just haven't felt that. It just hasn't felt like, people, but there was lack of buzz for sure. There was a definite lack of buzz, lack of into it, lack of flags or pride or paraphernalia. I mean, you just didn't feel anything from this team all year or all tournament.
Well, because they've been the one hope that this country's ever had when it comes to soccer.
That is true.
The men, it's like, can they even qualify? Can they even get there? The women, they win it.
They do.
So
they have.
They have. Right. They have.
Yeah.
But I'm saying there's always been, it felt completely different where the guys, it was like, well, that's cool story. But I mean, nobody's giving them a chance. The women, that's just the opposite. They go in as, dare I say, a favorite.
Yeah. Maybe that's the other thing. Is it just me? It seems like the Men's World Cup was just the other day. It doesn't seem like it was, 2 years ago or something, like the Men's World Cup in Qatar, right? Over in Qatar. When was that?
2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago?
No, it was in October, September.
We were doing this show.
They pushed it back.
Oh, it was last year, wasn't it?
It was when I was in school. It was during football season.
Yeah,
you're right.
We were doing this show. And we've been doing the show less than a year. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, it feels like the anticipation never got to really build up because we just finished with the men's tournament. And that's what I was saying earlier, that we've been exposed to way more soccer than we ever have before leading up to this, because I don't think the men's tournament wasn't, a few months ago typically. Typically, they do it like the Summer or Winter Olympics, right? Where it's 2 years in, 2 years for the men, 2 years, every 2 years,
correct,
the men or the women play.
Correct.
And this year we didn't have that. This year we had the men's team basically play.
Was that because COVID kind of
I believe so.
jacked it all up?
Qatar was not ready to go with whatever.
Well,
I'm not sure, whatever.
That,
And then there was a seasonal issue as well where they couldn't host the games during the hottest part of their year because that would have been a disaster. So you had to wait for the weather to cool off a little bit so they can do their thing. So, I mean, it was a whole – all I'm saying is this. I feel like, again, we've been exposed because right after the Men's World Cup, I remember seeing a lot more soccer on television with the European Championships that seemed to be up there. We were following some of that. And then, after that was over, the MLS was here. And now all of a sudden here comes the women's, U.S. soccer. And it feels like, didn't we just do this? We just did this, didn't we? No? So I don't think the anticipation had a chance to really build the way that it could have in years past.
So the women, their run is over.
Yeah.
And so that will be basically the end of soccer discussion for World Cup, I think, in our country. That'll be end of that.
Yeah. For a little while.
Nolensville, as I said.
Yes.
By the way, there's a quick little fact before we move on from that as well, because we got a lot of stuff to get into today. They're trying to become the first U.S. team to go to 3 straight Little League World Series.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
The first U.S. team? Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
To go to 3 straight Little League World Series. Because, they have the Little League World Series, and then they also have the one where the Little League World Series champ takes on
the international.
Yeah. Yeah. And my guess is the reason that it reads U.S. is because I'm sure international teams maybe, like Japan is always good. The same teams wherever, Dominican or whatever.
Yeah.
That
there's a Curial last
year.
year.
That they've been there, maybe they've done it 3 times, but no U.S. team has done it 3 years in a row.
Okay. Well, good luck to them here to try to get this done. It's a cool thing for Nolensville. It was a cool thing for Goodlettsville. It's a cool thing, just period, to have here in Middle Tennessee to become sort of this hotbed for
Little
youth,
League.
for Little League baseball, out of all things. But why not? I mean, and what's going to be very interesting as well is watching these kids move on from here and whether or not they get to go do, big things, SEC things or, MLB things or, you never know kind of things. It's that part of this is cool because they've shown the video, they've shown the pictures of Little League world champions to World Series world champions. It doesn't happen that often, but they are out there. So
it has happened.
It's real.
Yep. Want to thank Jeremy Gover for stepping in for me while I was out.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't able to listen because basically you don't have your phone about 90-something% of the time. Like, it just doesn't work.
Okay.
So that's another part that I didn't.
So you can
do
have
not
it,
enjoy.
but it doesn't matter because
it doesn't really matter. Like you buy an internet package and it really doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Because you just don't get it.
Okay.
So, but I heard he did great. So I'm not surprised by that.
Oh man,
so
had a great time.
Glad he
Appreciate
filled
him
in.
so much coming by, and we got into a lot of things last week. So. Everything from Pro Football Hall of Fame, a little hockey talk to college football realignment, all that stuff.
What's going on in college football? Anything?
Yeah, there was some movement happening. I'm not sure if you heard.
Some movement.
Yeah, some movement. Yes.
Like with the scheduling?
No, teams.
Oh, teams.
Yes, teams. Teams. I'm pretty sure that Oregon is moving to Maryland. Isn't that the way that goes? They're not moving. Aren't they moving the physical campus? No, they're not.
No,
they're
I don't think so.
They're just switching conferences. Okay.
I think I saw
They're coming to my neck of the woods
where Fox Sports is dropping Pac-4 games.
Yes.
They're dropping them.
Yeah, because they can't do the
teams.
Contactual. They're in violation of the contract.
There's no teams.
There's a contract violation. You actually need teams.
All right, we're wide open this first hour. If you want to jump in there and talk with us, we got a lot of things to get into. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. Vince Ferrara from Knoxville will join us coming up at 3 o'clock. By the way, did you have Vince on Monday?
We did not.
Okay. All right. I dropped the ball on that because again, I didn't see, because he was like, "Are you guys calling me?" I never saw that text till Saturday.
Oh man!
So I was like, sorry, bro, I forgot to coordinate everything.
I'm sorry.
That was my bad.
I feel bad now. Vince is a great
No,
guy.
it's on me. I'm the one that didn't
leave
coordinate
Vince
it.
hanging like that. That's not cool.
But he's just not used to me answering him 5 days later.
Yeah, we'll apologize to Vince.
All right, we'll come back. More of the McFarland Show here on Nashville Sports Radio.
Hey, Tennessee, when you bet on Zen Sports, the new sportsbook in town, you get the best reward possible. Cold, hard cash. You bet with your own money, so why accept anything less from your rewards program? With Zen Sports, you earn cash on your bets, cash on your referrals bets, and a welcome bonus in, you guessed it, cash. So stop settling for Vegas rewards when we're in Tennessee. Cash in your old sportsbook for Zen Sports. Your wallet will thank you later. Zen Sports. Betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and up and in Tennessee to bet.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-898-6155 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-898-6155. That's 800-898-6155. What do you have to lose? Call 800-898-6155. Again, 800-898-6155.
Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is at the heart of Music City. Located within walking distance of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bar Lines at the Omni is your downtown honky-tonk destination. Watch your team from any seat on their plentiful HD TVs and catch a live show on the Bar Lines stage featuring live music 7 days a week. Bar Lines has the ultimate Southern comfort food. Get started with classic fried green tomatoes or bourbon barbecue wings. Then it's on to the massive Smashville double stack or the world famous Bar Lines grinder. Oh, you've never heard of the Bar Lines grinder? 2 kinds of cheese, lettuce, Dijon, smoked turkey, smoked bacon, smoked ham. Now that's some smoke you want. Local brews and local spirits are on tap at Bar Lines. Take a seat on the patio outside and soak up the rhythm of Music City. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
It's the Mcfarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Carries per game, Derrick Henry.
20 carries a game is what Derrick Henry needs. Anything under that, I don't know what we're doing. He's got to get the ball at least 20 times.
And my number was going to be 22. So 22 carries a game for Derrick Henry, 8 targets, at least DeAndre Hopkins every game.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
Titans fans, Preds fans, the McFarland Show has you covered. Give us a call, 615-844-5600. The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Thank you, big voice guy. Rolling along on this Monday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a good start to your week. You can give us a call. Call us or text us. We're open for business until 4 o'clock. Kind of like what Nate has done. Nate, welcome in.
What's up, guys? Great to hear you got back all right, Darren, and had a good trip.
Yeah, good to be back home.
So I was watching a couple Braves games this past weekend, and I had a question about base running because I can't remember if it was the actual announcer or if it was the analyst, Jeff Francoeur, who was saying that there was some poor base running this weekend. One incident was there was a pop fly to basically shallow center. And I want to know what, I guess, the rule of thumb is for base running when you're on first and there's a shallow shot to center or, left or right field, and you don't know if it's going to be caught or not. And both times, Acuna got out at second because it dropped in front of the fielder, and I think it was either RC or Albies, I can't remember, got caught at first because he went too far. And I especially want to know Darren's opinion since you're a coach.
Well, it's a little bit obviously different at our level. We teach our boys to go halfway, watch the play, basically stop and determine, because sometimes, some plays are trickier than others, right? And and we're dealing with 11-year-olds now, getting ready to be 12-year-olds going into 12U this fall. That's the way we coach them up. You go halfway. It's a tricky play. We understand if it drops, you got to bust it to second, and if they catch it, you got to get back and bust it back to first. Obviously, it's a little bit different at our level. Your probability chances go up of being successful if you do it correctly, as opposed to in the major leagues where sometimes a one hopper in front of a guy, that's tough. Even if you play it perfectly on the bases, right? You could be screwed either way, whether it's going to second or if he catches it and pops up and just drills it to first and you're out there for a double play. It's a little bit trickier at that level.
Yeah, and Acuna, when he got caught at second, he didn't slide. He actually, and he didn't get off the bag. He stepped on the bag, but like I said, he didn't slide. So I guess I can understand the comment of poor base running by that, because he might have had a better chance sliding. Who really knows?
Yeah, I wish I would have seen the plays. I tried to watch as much as I could getting back here. But, I wanted to watch the UFC fight Saturday night while I was unpacking because it was here at Bridgestone Arena. I was at the race on Sunday. I mean, I watched a lot of Braves. I know Jose Ramirez of the Guardians did slide into second base. I do know that. And then that led to a bench-clearing brawl for 15 minutes.
Yeah, the suspensions are just
I haven't even heard what started all that. What was... did Tim Anderson say something? Like, what happened?
I think didn't Ramirez kind of cup check him a little bit?
Well, did he? Is that what it is? He popped up underneath him? Is that what happened? I don't know. You may be right.
From what I remember seeing his hand going to an area that would usually upset someone.
Oh. Well, I know he slid in head first. So I didn't know if you meant like basically Tim Anderson standing over top of him and he just like jumped up and popped him with his head, where he didn't want to be popped. And I don't know. I've seen it many times, but I haven't read up on what started the whole thing. But I know this, Tim Anderson went night-night for just a second.
Yeah, well. But yeah, I just don't know that you can really, and I know I'm criticizing a professional or former professional player, but the way you described it, Darren, I don't know that you can really say that it's poor base running when you kind of get caught in the middle.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
Basically,
yeah. If it drops right in front of them, gosh, at that level, man, it's just almost impossible. It just is.
Might as well just start walking back to the dugout.
Well, I mean, you don't want to do that because then you get your teammates and your skipper mad at you. But man, you got to at least try to act like you're busting it. But man, it's hard. It's just hard at that level.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a great rest of the day.
Thanks. Thank you too. I saw a play. I was watching. So after the Braves. So after getting back home from the race, watching the Braves and Cubs yesterday, when that game was over, I somehow ended up at, I think it was the Dodgers and the Padres. Is that right? Is that who was playing? Who was playing the Padres yesterday?
Looking it up here. Not sure.
There was a play at the plate. I think it was Dodgers. Yeah, it was Dodgers Padres.
Okay.
Yes. Play at the plate. And the Dodgers challenged. And the minute I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, they're going to win. Because he was out. But I was like, he blocked the plate.
Can't do that now.
I know that's a very, that's a
it could be a
divisive
very
topic that gets people, the old school.
It can be very subjective on the call.
Yes.
What's blocking, and he could still get there, and the base runner has a right, and all this other thing. So, I mean, it depends on where you fall out on it. But they're changing everything else. Why can't they change that?
Well, they have changed it. You can't do that anymore. I mean, look, they used to block the plate, and today, okay, so what's the alternative is, so now you're going to have these bigger, faster, stronger athletes coming full speed and just trucking you at home?
Yeah.
Do you want that?
That's what we used to have.
Right. Well, and it's happened. Buster Posey. I mean, we obviously.
They can just knock
I don't
the
need to go
ball
back
out
to
of his
Ray
hands.
Foss. I mean, we've had so many examples.
Got runners basically trying to cause a fumble.
Yeah.
Coming to the house here.
So, I mean, I get it. I understand why people don't love it, but man, look, if you want these athletes to play, I mean, today's athlete, you go full speed coming home and you truck the catcher. Good luck with that catcher being healthy the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem.
Right?
It's going to be a problem. Yeah, it is. Because guys aren't going to take that kind of a thing like they normally would have as part of the game. This isn't part of the game. You are now messing with my livelihood and my ability to make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So you don't mess with that and get to walk away from me. So that's the way they look at it, and rightfully so.
Wasn't it the Buster Posey play that started this whole rule? Is the reason for the change? I mean, best catcher in the game?
I believe so. He broke his leg, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. It was bad. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah.
Oh, and the suspensions just came out for the Jose Ramirez.
Oh,
thing.
it just literally came out?
Yep, 10 minutes ago.
So what do we have?
Tim Anderson, 6 games.
Okay.
Jose Ramirez, 3 games.
3 games.
And he's the one who knocked Anderson
So
out.
I was going to say, Tim Anderson jumped up like, it was a George Foreman, Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah.
Like so he clearly was the one that was like initiated, like, let's go. Like the boxing moves, like, okay, ding, ding, let's go.
And Francona got a game.
Did he?
Yes.
Okay, I still haven't heard what set off, the whole, what spun the thing in motion, because if you watch the play, I didn't see what it was that got everybody so agitated. Maybe it was just Guardians and White Sox, and they just don't like each other.
Yeah, the whole Chicago-Cleveland rivalry.
Yeah, maybe it's that.
It's the old Bulls-Cavs thing coming back. No, I'm not sure what started it, but I know it was loud and made a lot of news, and the kind of thing that MLB does not want. Does not want on their front page, does not want people talking about in regards to their sport. I know that much. So that's why they had to be a little heavy-handed with some of these suspensions. They got to deliver a message in some way. Much like Mike Vrabel did when he released an offensive lineman last week.
Nice segue. Go there.
Released an offensive lineman last week for fighting. Because the message has to be made clear that, and I can guarantee this is the way Mike Vrabel thinks about it, if you're willing to fight here in training camp or at practice, then you'll be willing to fight during a game. And if you're willing to fight during a game, the umpire, referee, somebody is going to see you, and it's going to cost us 15 yards and an automatic first down at a possibly crucial time of the game. So I'm sure he did a full analysis. I'm sure he looked at everything and just decided, you know what? We can't deal with this here. Goodbye. And, that's more or less what happened with the release of the player last week. So the Titans trying to make a stand here by saying that fighting is just not going to be acceptable on their organization here. And that's not what they're here to do. But things can get chippy, we also know, very quickly. Very quickly.
Yeah, I'm going to send Alec to hear Tom Hamilton do the play-by.
Hamilton. Okay.
Yeah, to do the play-by-play of that fight. We need to play it. It's fantastic. I mean, it's fantastic.
Tom Hamilton. Long time play-by-play announcer.
Legendary
for
voice.
the Reds up there in Cincinnati.
No. Cleveland.
Cleveland?
Yeah, Tom Hamilton.
Sorry, wrong end of the state.
Yep. You're
wrong
good.
end of the state.
You're good. No, he's unbelievable.
Okay. Wrong end of the state. No problem. No, that is something that happened while you were out. The Titans made some moves on the offensive line front. Then,
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is why this is so critical. That was their starting right tackle.
Yeah.
That was their starting right tackle.
Yeah.
And their coach said, goodbye. It's not like hey, that's our strongest position, so we're good. Is it?
He doesn't have time for these people to lose them games.
I get it.
He just can't do it.
And look,
in theory,
they're a little sensitive, okay? They've had a lot of injuries the last 2 years, as we know.
Yeah.
It is well documented. And he's like, man, we are not going to have injuries in training camp because of this nonsense. Like,
no.
Come on. We can't be doing this.
The injuries are part of it. I still think the penalties and the reckless behavior during the game.
I think it's a combo. Like, I do think, right. Like if he's willing to do it now, when I'm sure they were told many times, don't.
Yeah.
If he's willing to do it now, okay, that's a problem. That means he's going to do it in a game. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty. Okay, that's going to cost us. Or if they've also been talked about, like, hey, I know you can't, sometimes you can't, it's unavoidable. You can't predict when the injuries are going to happen. They just happen. Yeah. But hey, look, let's be smart out there. Like, we don't need injuries. This is early August. We don't need injuries setting the tone this early on in our season. Like, this is all we've dealt with for 2 years.
Yeah. There's no need for people to get this roughed up before the first preseason game where we're out here brawling amongst ourselves. So, they tried to make it as good as good of a situation as they can. But, it is what it is with that. You release the guy for fighting.
When I got back, I was like, whoa.
Hey,
wow.
Not playing this year. Ain't got time for that this year.
Let's go to Doug on our phone lines. Doug, what's up?
Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, man. I'm trying to blend 2 times a day together. Just going to touch with a place that's real dear to your heart. Nolensville, again, getting closer to punching their ticket 4-0 today. Planning on doing a little damage tomorrow, which will, I guess, put them where they need to be in the Little League World Series. I know you do travel ball. I wonder if you followed it any. And what do you think about that team and what are their chances?
Yes, I was watching today. We talked about it a little bit in the first segment, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
They play tomorrow at 4 o'clock. That's fine. It's 4 o'clock tomorrow as they play the Florida team. Mm-hmm. And if they win that, of course, they head to Williamsport, which is cool. Loser goes home. I think they're up for the task. They're really good. They've been in this spot before. They're looking to do it. I don't know if you heard me say this, Doug. They're looking to be the first U.S. team to get to 3 straight Little League World Series. No U.S. team has done that 3 consecutive years. So they're looking to do what no team has done in the States. And quite frankly, I think they're going to do it. I do.
Certainly seems.
Are they going to make everybody forget about Goodlettsville? Those guys had a good run back in the day.
No, I don't think anybody's going to forget about them, nor should we. I just think right now the power.
I'm
the
just
power
saying,
is.
you're
saying.
Where, what?
Yeah, gotcha.
Hey, we're gonna. I remember when we were Dixie Youth, and big talk was about how far somebody went, and it wasn't against a team that had done it before. We just wanted to make a statement back in 12 years that we're going to be better than that team you're talking about now. No disrespect to you. So I wonder if Nolensville, because Goodlettsville, they were the dogs back in the day.
They were the dogs. Yeah.
Yeah. So new sheriff in town now, but they got a girl pitcher, so I kind of want to see what she's going to do with the Heat.
Well, Goodlettsville was the one who won it, correct? They won.
Yes. They won it.
They won it. Then they lost the international game, which whatever. Nobody cares. I mean, I don't want to say nobody cares, but it's just a different deal. But they won the Little League World Series, right? This was about 10 years ago, or I don't know, a little bit less than that.
A little less than that.
Yeah.
Have your travel team, have they played any of the Florida talent? Because it's solid talent in Florida. You don't see any scrubs down there.
No, we when we went to Omaha, we played we played teams from Texas, we played teams from California, we played teams from Colorado, we played a team from Minnesota in the championship game. We did not see a team. I don't believe there was a Florida team in it, which was kind of weird in our age group.
Okay, well, let's wish Nolensville well. You guys keep up good work. Glad you're back from vacation. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, I love this stuff. I mean, obviously, because we're dealing with the same age group. So I watch it, and I just think it's so cool.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm always looking for tips. I'm looking for,
Looking
you know,
for tips.
like, what are they doing? You know, what are they doing, man?
Oh.
What can we do?
What's that on his glove? Does that work? Okay.
You know?
Can we let them write messages on their glove? Is that okay? We have to approve them first? Okay. Then we'll get the silver pen out and we'll let them go. You know, you never know what gets kids up and going. Finding the triggers, I would imagine, to make them want to go do certain things is probably one of the hardest things, because you just, you know, do you ever ask yourself, what if this kid didn't come with one of these buttons? Maybe this is just who they are. It's a lot of different things to consider there. It really is. So you should be applauding all the other coaches who volunteer to go out and do this. Should be very much applauded.
Yeah. Trying to shape lives. I don't know if I'd want to be mic'd up. I can tell you that. That's another part of this. I'm like, it's cool to be on ESPN, but
Keep it away from me.
Would I want to be mic'd up? Probably not. Probably not.
Things.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know if I'd enjoy that.
No.
Mound visits and, you know.
Yeah.
Talking during the game. I don't know. I don't think I'd enjoy that. Yeah, I don't know.
Get your headset ready.
Not sure I would embrace that.
Yeah. So, okay, well, Coach, what were you thinking when you made this move? What?
Oh, we're doing this?
I mean,
Are we on?
Are we on?
Is this live?
This is a setup question. This is not a setup question. This is live.
Oh, we're okay.
Oh, well.
We can do it. By the way, okay, yes. Good job, Alec. Yeah, it is out. 3 games, 6 games. Jose Ramirez, I think he's been disrespectful for the game for a while. Obviously, you have heard things about Tim Anderson. I even having the chance to tell him during the game, don't do that stuff. That's disrespectful. Don't start tagging people. So he was mad about the tag. Okay. So, I mean, look, Tim Anderson is no stranger to brush-ups with stuff.
No.
You know that.
No, he's not.
You know that.
Yeah.
So he's a little bit of yeah. They're showing a lot of.
He's a little bit of yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with the stuff they're showing. I don't see anything wrong with that. But anyway.
Yeah.
And it's too bad. He's been having such a great year, man.
Yeah.
1 home run. I don't know what else he has.
There it goes. All right. We'll take another quick break. Doug, thanks for the phone call as always. Tony, we'll get to you on the other side. Rolling along here on this Monday afternoon. You're listening to The Mcfarland Show on WNSR.
This is something I wish I'd known. Many people who live in Tennessee are eligible for help paying for healthy food for pregnant and new moms, their babies, and young children, but don't realize it. Family income can be higher than you think. There's a website called TennesseeMeals.com for more information. Assistance for healthy food for expectant moms and young children. This information I need to share. TennesseeMeals.com.
Brought to you by the Tennessee Justice Center, the Tennessee Association of Broadcasters in the state.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
Just because you can't see it or smell it, radon gas is everywhere. Caused by natural radioactive decay, it is the leading cause of lung cancer in women, children, and non-smoking men. And with Davidson County homes testing higher than the national average, now is the time for radon testing. Radon Mitigation is Nashville's licensed and NRPP certified radon mitigation company who can test your home, install systems, and maintain continuous meters for daily readouts on their simple-to-use app. Or you can test at home yourself by picking up one of the free DIY at-home test kits. Let Alex and his team at Radon Mitigation make your home a clean air home. Give them a call today at 931-47-RADON. That's 931-477-2366. Or online at ChooseRadont.com. That's ChooseRadont.com.
Hey, I'm Alex with Radon Mitigation. Proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves on WNSR.
The Jim Rome Show.
Man, I love Facebook. That's not in any way a time suck. It is such a valuable use of your time. Going on everybody else's page and posting how beautiful they look when they don't. They don't. You know they don't. Come on. Anyway, do what you want with your time. I don't want you to tell me how to spend my time. I won't tell you how to spend your time, but I will tell you this. Stop cropping out pictures and including yourself and then acting like, hey, my hair looked great that day. My makeup was perfect that day. Just do what I tell you. With regards to this, you'll be fine.
Weekdays from 11 to 2 on Nashville Sports Radio.
Five-state forecast. Your exclusive National Sports Radio, WNSR Sky Scan forecast. Today, sunny to partly cloudy with a few showers and thunderstorms, high 90. Partly cloudy tonight, low 66. Sunshine Tuesday, high 86. Some showers and thunderstorms Wednesday. Utilizing the resources of the WeatherBug Network on National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi.
Sports Radio, WNSR.
The Mcfarland Show, broadcasting live in Rutherford County on 107.9 FM.
Those are the kind of the songs you'll hear for a week on a cruise ship, I promise you. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Little Bruno Mars out there.
It gets you pumped up. It gets you in a good mood.
Yeah.
It's, it's water, it's pool, jacuzzi, ocean type of, songs.
Makes you want to, get a little something in your cup, huh?
Maybe get a drink too.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. That stuff does go on a cruise ship.
Yeah, I bet it does. Jeez.
615-844-5600, especially if you have the drink package. Let's go to Tony.
Early and often.
Tony, what's up?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome back, Darren.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Justin, guess what?
What's up?
They got the power. They got the speed. Just might be the best in the National League. So go, Cubs, go. Go, Cubs, go.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Chicago, what do you say?
Oh.
What do you say? Cubs might win today. Hey, I know it's early. We all do. We all know they don't give out trophies in August. But you know what? They don't give them out 3 weeks ago either when everybody was still talking about the Cincinnati Reds being the team. I wonder, y'all had that guy on there from Murfreesboro that had picked the Reds, right?
Tony, don't start.
Oh,
Tony,
wait a minute.
don't do that.
Don't
do that, Tony.
You are talking smack.
Don't do that, Tony.
I'm just saying.
Don't do that, Tony.
Saying.
Did they punch?
I'm pounding my chest today.
Wait a minute. Did they punch their ticket?
No, they're not even in first place.
They sweep the Braves? Are they in? Do they get an automatic exemption in the playoffs?
They're not even in first place.
Not many have beat the Braves. We've heard how great the Braves were. We took 2 out of 3.
Golly. You just called out Michigan?
Hey,
I mean, just like
Tony
that?
Tony doesn't speak for all the Cub fans. I'm a Cub fan, too. Tony doesn't speak for all of us.
I know it is, but it's fun to pound the chest a little bit.
They look good.
We still got to go to Atlanta later on, so that's going to tell a tale. But I just had to call in, just had to get that out there, and, I'm happy today. I'm proud. Now, I hope they can keep this hot streak going. They're the hottest team right now in baseball.
I think I saw yesterday, we were watching, what are they, 16-7 since the All-Star break, I think is the record. Best in baseball.
That and got a 75 differential run difference, a positive 75. And, I mean, they've just, I just hope they can keep up. Their additions have helped. Their pitching's helping. They're using the pitching, I think, in a proper way. And it's just right now it's fun to be a Cubbies. It just is. But I want to just say that and just had to be because I was waiting on this weekend to see what they were going to do. And, and I was just glad to see because I've heard others say they were glad to have the Braves off their schedule and didn't want to see them again. But, I was just curious how they were going to react at home on this hot streak if they could hang with them and to take the series. I was hoping 1 out of 3, but to get the series, I was really happy about that. So,
gosh, if they had more games against the Braves, Tony, if they had more games against the Braves this season, they'd be running away with this division,
I don't think they'd run away with it, but I think it'd be pretty competitive.
Wow.
Man, you are
Hey,
feeling it today.
Let me
tell
throw
you.
something at you. Y'all probably don't even know that's going to happen next year.
Okay.
On June 20th, coinciding with Juneteenth, coinciding with Willie Mays' 92nd birthday, Rickwood Field in Birmingham, Alabama, is going to be hosting a game with the St. Louis Cardinals and the the San Francisco Giants. And it's all going to be done that week. A lot of activities going on. A lot of people don't even know this is out there yet. And it's going to be and they're refurbishing old Rickwood Field for this game. They're doing this. Of course, they've been doing the Field of Dreams, but I don't think there's going to be a Field of Dreams game next year. And they're going to do this game with the Giants and the Cardinals on June 20th at Rickwood Field down in Birmingham. And it's all going to coincide with Willie Mays, who's from there 5 miles from Rickwood Field or so, that they're going to have this game. It's going to be pretty neat. It hadn't even been publicized that much yet. I think they're going to call it the Rickwood Field game. I think that's something. Y'all can look it up and do a little bit more research.
I think that's
on
right.
it.
I think
classic.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
That's going to be a fun thing. But I've been keeping up. I saw some tidbits on it about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And like I say, I've got some family down in Alabama that told me about it. And so I've started looking into it. So it's all coming together, and it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty neat.
I know they've played college basketball games on naval ships. I'd like for them to do maybe a Major League Baseball game on a cruise ship. That'd be cool.
I'm not sure if they
That's
got the
true.
space for all that. But,
You don't think so?
Maybe not.
The fight that took place, Darren, with your Guardians, and I know you're still a believer.
Oh, I am.
I think I've really slowed it down and watched it, and you could see there was some unpleasant words said to each other.
Yeah.
I think, my personal opinion, guys sliding in on the Guardians, I thought he was offended a little bit by the continuing tag and the hold of the tag on his backside.
Yeah, that's what Anderson is known for. Yes. I think you're 100% right.
And your player, I know Anderson is the White Sox guy.
Yeah, Ramirez.
He took offense to it.
Yeah. Well, Anderson's also been known to try to keep hitting you because, guys slide past the foot or try to put, if you got your hand, trying to basically get your hand off the back. I mean, he's just known for that stuff.
He's known for trying to get the tag, keeping the tag on there when you've got to get up or whatnot.
Yeah, and I tell our boys, because our boys love to
do
do that too, and I tell them, guys, enough, stop. Especially at first, they're trying to basically swipe tag them and take their hand off the bag. I was like, guys, come on, man.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Well, is there any truth to Rhode Island and Delaware being asked to come join the Big 12 or the Big 10?
It's not far off.
I tell you what, it's something. The poor Pac-4 out there, I don't know where they're going, but it's something. Hey, guys, I'm going to leave you alone.
All right, Tony, thank you.
Glad to talk to you. Glad you had a good, safe, fun trip, Darren.
Appreciate it.
And your coworker right there, your cohort, he did a hell of a job last week filling in. I called him 2 or 3 times, and your buddy had filled in with you. We had some good conversation.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Not surprised at all. Thank you, Tony.
See you guys.
Well, I know where the Pac-4 is going. It's going in the ocean. It's just going away. It's going to drift away.
Yeah.
It's going bye-bye.
It's going to close up shop.
Yeah. It's about done. All right, let's take our final break at the first hour. We'll come back and wrap up the first hour next.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Sponsored by Armstrong Pharmaceuticals.
Post-COVID travel is on a surge. Many of you are traveling for fun because you've been locked up for 2 years. Listen, whether you're traveling for fun to Italy, Greece, Spain, France, or somewhere else fun in the world, or USA, now is a great time to book before the crowds hit and save. Plus, with a strong U.S. dollar, you'll get more travel bang for your buck. Right now is a smart time to make your reservations and call low-cost airlines. With one phone call, you can let us do all the work for free. We'll shop hundreds of airlines, hotels, resorts, and give you a way to save huge money on your vacation plans. And if you call right now, we'll give you a free hotel room with a qualified travel purchase. So call right now.
800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. That's 800-704-1662.
We all know that Nashville life can get hectic. In the middle of all the madness that is life, don't forget to take care of yourself. Treat yourself to Nashville's ultimate relaxation experience at Mcfarland Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel. With services for men and women, Mcfarland Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel is your one-stop shop for full body treatment. Begin your experience in the exquisite relaxation room, then enjoy a full body treatment or even a couples massage before finishing in the salon. Located on the 4th floor of the Omni Nashville Hotel, Mcfarland Spa is Nashville's highest quality self-care oasis. To book your experience or gain information on packages, call Mcfarland Spa today at 615-761-3600. Again, 615-761-3600. Or log on to theomnihotel.com. And with every booking, you'll have free valet parking and rooftop pool access to enjoy the Music City skyline. And through Labor Day, enjoy the 4th floor spa terrace for only $20. Mcfarland Spa at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Hey, Tennessee! We're Zen Sports, the new sportsbook in town. We listen to your feedback on our competitors, so we designed Zen Sports just the way you wish. Set favorites, search and sort bets, and earn real cash rewards, saving you time and money with every bet you make. Find the bets you want, not those distracting bets that seem too good to be true but rarely are. Best of all, withdraw your winnings in under 24 hours. So take control of your bets, because with Zen Sports, betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and up and in Tennessee to bet.
The 2023 Atlanta Braves are back, and with a loaded roster of young talent and some new faces in the A, it's going to be another wild season.
First pitch is drilled to center field. Sprinting in Harris, he dives, and Michael's got it.
Catch the 2023 Atlanta Braves right here on Music City's home for Braves baseball. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio. Welcome back to the Strike and Spare Studios. You're listening to The Mcfarland Show with Darren Mcfarland and Fox 17's Justin Mcfarland.
Vince Ferrara coming up to begin the second hour of the program. So we'll head east. They're an hour ahead of us. Kind of like in Cleveland, Ohio. They're an hour ahead of us.
Yes, they are. They are on Eastern Standard Time out there.
They are. And we were talking about that, and we'll quickly, just because we're going to get into a bunch of stuff, Tennessee related, Titans related, just a bunch of stuff. The race that happened yesterday, we really haven't touched on that at all. So a lot of things in the second hour of the program. But here is actually the call. If you didn't hear it, this is, and we could stop it after the one part, Alec. But let's hear Tom Hamilton on the call yesterday with the fight when it broke out.
Here it comes. A swing and a smash to first by the diving Vaughn. Down the right field line. Kicks into the corner. Ramirez on his way to second. Head first slide. Safe and in to score is Jimenez. And another hustle double. Right over the bag at first. Now Hosey and Anderson square off. They're fighting. They're swinging. Down goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson.
Tell me that's not the best.
Oh, gosh. He's good.
How do you? Oh,
that's
no,
good.
Tom Hamilton's more than good, man. He's a freaking legend.
That's pretty doggone. That's pretty doggone great. That's good. That's good. They're fighting. They're right there. Good grief.
That is fantastic.
I know you didn't expect to see that, when he showed up to the ball yard, but
Is that the first time you've heard that?
Yeah, I've not heard that.
Tell me that's not priceless.
That's really good. That's really,
Down
really good.
goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson.
Oh. No, that's great. That's really great. Another chapter in this rivalry here for the Cleveland-Chicago rivalry.
Do you need me to send that to you, to send to your dad?
No, I don't think he's going to enjoy that. No.
You don't?
No, I don't think
like
he's going to like that as much, no. I think, it's going to have a different kind of mood for him.
Maybe you should have Tony call you.
No. Oh, that'll make him thrilled. The Cubs fans, we don't talk baseball. Me and my father, we can't do it.
Especially this year.
All
right, that's going to do it for the first hour. We'll come back. We'll head east. We'll go to Knoxville. We'll do that next.
.560 AM, 95.9 FM, Brentwood, Nashville, 107.9 FM, Smyrna, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
ABC News, I'm Rena Roy. Flying somewhere today? You better check first. FlightAware reporting more than 1,100 canceled flights and more than 3,600 delays. The big problem is severe storms along the East Coast into New England. A 5 p.m. deadline is looming in former President Trump's January 6th case. His lawyers must respond by then to special counsel Jack Smith's request for a protective order. That's in addition to other items of business.
The judge is already pushing to get a trial date. She's given the special counsel's office until this coming Thursday, August 10th, to come up with a date. And she's calling on Trump's defense team to give their own date within a week.
ABC News Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas. A judge in Minneapolis has sentenced former police officer Tu Tao to almost 5 years in state prison for failing to prevent the death of George Floyd. That's in addition to the federal time Tao's already serving for violating Floyd's civil rights. Floyd dying under the knee of former officer Derek Chauvin in 2020. This is ABC News.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same. But at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No. Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. That's 800-413-3953.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the Mcfarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Throw me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour rolling along on this Monday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a great day. Darren and Justin here live, Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Intern Alec alongside his last week before heading back to East Lansing, to Michigan State.
Back to the tundra.
To finish up school. On his whopping 2 classes he's got to graduate.
Remember that college life, man?
I do.
Man, that was something.
It's a fun time.
It is.
Which is why you should go back.
You should enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah. You know, in all honesty, you should go back. You really should. You should. You should go back to East Lansing.
You should get on the plan I was on. It was a 7-year plan.
Is what it is. Is what it is. Nobody asks on the other side. It's okay.
No, they don't. All right, let's go to Knoxville. Let's bring in our man, Vince Ferrara, at Vince Sports. He does the morning show with John Wilkerson there on 99.1 The Sports Animal in Knoxville, weekdays, Monday through Friday. And they do a great job. Vinny, how we doing?
I'm good, guys. Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoyed your time off there, Mr. McFarland.
I did fall on the sword in the first hour and say I did a whoops. And I went into vacation mode a little early, forgot to take care of business and reach out to you and tell you I was going to be gone and my phone was going to be gone for a week. And
my bad, Vince.
And I didn't say anything to Justin.
He did not.
And so, I dropped the ball.
It's all good. Hey, by the way, you're talking about last semester in college at USF. I took a couple of electives, just cruising at the end, and I had one of the electives was massage for dance.
Oh wow!
What?
Wow! Wow!
I know it sounds weird. The only thing that it had, the reason why dance was in the title is because they just happened to use one of the dance offices in the dance building, and it was a true massage learning class. So it was great. I had more friends than I ever did any other time at USF. People went homework, and it was great. I couldn't tell you what my other elective was because it was nothing compared to that with like PE or something silly like that. But man, those are the days you just kind of cruise to the finish line.
Yeah, that class sounds like it was a night class. I'm just saying.
Oh, the homework.
The homework, boy.
There.
Yeah, the homework. Yeah. A lot of group sessions, huh? Everybody getting together studying.
Anyway.
Yeah. Let's move on quickly.
All right, let's get to how about them balls?
How about the balls?
Real quick before we get into that, how about the Pac-4? I mean, what are you making of this? By the way, now I'm sure you've seen it already. California and Stanford are talking with the ACC. What?
Yeah. That it's so sad that I think it's sadness. That's what pops in my head, besides it just being geographically ridiculous, which we all know. But it's sad for a couple of reasons. One, in how many people are going to lose jobs? How many people are going to have to travel and like all the other Olympic sports besides football that has the best travel, missing classes and all the impact of everyone else other than the people that are going to line their pockets through the extra money from the TV deal. It's just very unfortunate from that standpoint. The other thing is sad is because this could have been avoided by the Pac-12. The Big 12 wanted to merge with the Pac-12, do a scheduling deal, work together, and then be a force that might have a chance to survive, probably would have, with what was coming with the SEC and the Big Ten. But no, Larry Scott, the leadership of Larry Scott before that, he thought that the Pac-12 was positioned better than anyone else, and he was wrong. His network ended up being a disaster. And then now their current leadership with George Kliavkoff, he just, again, the same arrogance, thought, we can get a TV deal even though we're in flux. Yeah, we're going to be able to have a competitive TV deal. I'm not worried about anyone else leaving. Wrong again. I mean, just unbelievable. It's so sad that those two could not come together to give themselves the best chance in that half of the country, and now you have all of this haywire with everyone spread out. Just sad. That's how I view it all.
Remember when there were articles being written about Larry Scott and how just brilliant he was and how he was the most influential, commissioner in all this just love for the conference and Larry Scott and how they, this guy's the guy. Remember all that many years ago?
Yeah, it was a cup of coffee, but you're right. That was the case.
But it was a love fest. I'll tell you that.
Yep, it was.
My gosh. Well, speaking of love fest, there's a love fest for this Tennessee team. We had some time on Saturday. I think you remember Heather Perry, who used to live in Knoxville. I think you knew her. She lives in Charleston, South Carolina now, and so she was our tour guide on Saturday while we were waiting for our flight. And she is obviously a huge Tennessee Vols fan. She still has season tickets and still goes back there for home games. And, yeah, we sat down and had lunch, and, boy, she could not ask enough Tennessee questions. The hype is real, and that is what's fascinating to me, Vince, is how Josh Heupel and this team is going to handle real hype.
Yeah, honestly, it's something that we're not going to find out right now. It would be something during the season. Holy cow. By the way, I am driving back home, and there are, all kinds of trees down here in Knoxville, and it is wild leaves in the road. It is crazy. We had a really strong storm come through here. I know you guys are familiar with those, but the sun's out now, but, man, there's damage around here.
I think we do have, by the way, Justin, correct me, don't we have a tornado watch in Middle Tennessee?
We do.
Till tonight?
About 6 p.m.
6 o'clock?
Till 6 p.m., yeah.
We do here as well still. So I think it's just coming in bands. But anyway, I was right in front of me, so sorry about that. But, yeah, I think it's going to be during the season because right now they're about work, and they should be. They shouldn't be worried about rankings or any of that kind of stuff. Guys are trying to survive as a freshman and just stay afloat, and other guys trying to worried about that kind of stuff. And honestly, I would be surprised if that impacts them. They got up to number one in the first college football playoff rankings last year. I don't know that that's the reason why they lost to Georgia after that. I think it was because of Georgia. And then South Carolina, was it because of the hype? I think that was the one time they overlooked South Carolina, and South Carolina was more than ready and able to play much different than how anemic they played, against Florida before that, and frankly the rest of the season. So I don't think it happened last year. I don't know that that's going to be a big issue. Now, look, if they're deep in the season, sitting there, undefeated and, with a chance to go to the college football playoff, does that kind of, rear its ugly head perhaps? Yeah, it's uncharted territory if that happens, and it's never happened before with this group. Sure, that can surface. But, Darren, I think, honestly, we're a ways away from that being any sort of issue or thing to worry about right now. They have guys to replace. They have positions to fill, and there's plenty to be excited about. But I think there's other things on the minds of a lot of fans right now.
Let's see. How do I phrase this? Okay, I want to ask you a quarterback question, and here's my concern. Okay, I know Joe Milton. He came in here and ripped Vanderbilt apart, and beat up on Clemson in a bowl game and looked good, okay? And I'm not taking anything away from him. And we all know what his strengths are. We know his weaknesses. I just have a hard time signing up for Joe Milton for a full season for it to look like it did at the end. Everybody loves the backup quarterback, right? Until the backup quarterback becomes the full-time starter. Then it's how quickly people fall out of love with that. And that's my fear of Joe Milton. So if it goes that direction, and I want you to, if you feel differently, push back on why you think Joe Milton can be the guy all season, But if he isn't, and Joe Milton rears his ugly head, and they drop a couple they're not supposed to, and he's throwing picks, and people, or he's got a poor percentage completion rate, and people are up in arms. What is it going to take, you think, to get Nico in this season? Is it a short leash, long leash for Joe Milton? How would you describe that?
I do feel differently, Darren. I'm bullish on Joe Milton. I think he's going to have a terrific year. It doesn't have to be a Hendon Hooker season statistically, or him competing for the Heisman Trophy, for him to have a really good year and for this team to have success. He's a different guy than he was in 2021. I mean, he was ready to. This is one of the big things that came out of media days. We didn't get a chance to talk last week, but he told our station on Radio Row, our afternoon show, that in 2021, when he got hurt and then lost his job, that he wondered if football was for him and if he should just go back home and leave Tennessee. That's how impacted he was at that point, hit a low point. But then after a week of being down, looked himself in the mirror and said, look, I got arm strength, I got leadership, I have personality, I'm a winner, I have the skill set, I can be a great quarterback. And he went to work to do something about it. He connected with his teammates, guys put their arm around him, the coaching staff showed confidence in him, and now he has been nothing but a work machine ever since then. He was roommates with Hendon Hooker, so you could see Hendon Hooker impact in Joe Milton. And honestly, you could see Joe Milton impact in Hendon Hooker too, with the energy and being loose and enjoying the game. But last year he was much better than he was before. You didn't see those deep ball misses that people cannot get out of their head from 2 years ago when he had that starting spot, the second starting spot that he had as a quarterback, because he obviously lost his gig at Michigan. He's well aware that this is his third time as a starting quarterback. You think he's just going to be, I got a big arm, it's just handed to me. Whatever happens, happens. No, that's not what we've seen from them. It's not what the players have seen. It's not what the coaching staff has seen. They've seen a guy that when he got a taste of success at the end of last year, he has been starving to be even better, much better, and he's put in the work. He's put his arm around Nico Iamaleava and treated him like Hendon Hooker treated him when he wasn't the starting quarterback. I think that earns the respect of his teammates. It prepares Nico, to the second part of your question, for if and when he does have to play, and he will play, but I think it's mop-up duty. I don't think that leash is really, I think for the fans it might be, but I think for the coaching staff, I don't think that's a super short leash. And another thing is he has worked on his fundamentals as well. He had talked about how working with the coaching staff, he's using his legs more in his throw. Because of his arm strength, he would just use everything in the arm, upper body, and then have just that fastball, and then his arm would be tired at the end of practice. Now he's learned to use his lower half and his legs more, and now he doesn't have his arm soreness. He has that changeup that people have been saying he needs to have with the short to intermediate throws. He also told us recently he lost weight from last year. He's down to 235 from 245, and he said 5 pounds makes a big difference. Now he is more mobile in the pocket, more decisive in the pocket, better escapability when he's not Hendon Hooker. He hasn't been. Now he can bring some more of that running game element and have more confidence in himself in that area and just have the mechanics all work together. His teammates adore him and believe in him. He is not the same guy he was 2 years ago. He will show that this season, in my opinion, for those that are unsure of that.
Vince, how important is it for the Vols to continue to dominate this area as far as like recruiting is concerned and play games here and Is this a recruiting trip, essentially, a reward, or I feel like there is a dual mission having this game here in Nashville?
I think Tennessee gets to Nashville pretty frequently, but anytime recruits can see you in person, yes, I think that is a positive. But, Tennessee's been able to get more and more kids onto their campus. That's the biggest tool, the most useful tool. But you never know. Tennessee got a commitment from an offensive tackle recently, Bennett Warren, who picked Tennessee over Michigan. And he said one of the most influential things for him was when Tennessee took over in Death Valley in Baton Rouge and took LSU to the woodshed, and that place was all orange on the road. So he's like, that was crazy impactful for him. So you just never know when recruits get to see the fan base travel and take over a stadium other than the home stadium and how that can impact them. I'll say this, a lot of the signing class, there's some guys that are still out there that may have, any recruits that go to those games, that may have a next class and class after type of impact that might end up going to that game rather than, hey, after that game, they turn around and get 3 commits. I don't think that's the case. They're doing great in recruiting right now as it is. But, yes, it is helpful. Nashville has so much talent. It's always growing and increasing. So, yes, it is definitely a benefit. And just the fan base in the mid-state, too. It's nice to throw them a bone when you can. But, there's more than the single reason to go there.
Vince, as a guy who's covered the SEC, and I mean not just Tennessee, but you've covered Alabama as well, so you've been around this for a very long time. The thought of Florida State, Georgia Tech, Clemson, or NC State coming to the SEC strikes you how?
I mean, my first thought is unlikely. Honestly, I've been a little bit out of pocket today, so I don't know if there's those kind of stories floating around today.
Nothing more than rumors, Vince. The same rumors we've been hearing for, the last 10 years, honestly. But everything is up in the air because of what's been happening.
Florida State and Clemson, you get those because to me today it's more about brands than market sizes. And people would naturally say, well, yeah, Florida and South Carolina would have a problem with those. Well, Texas A&M had a problem with Texas, and that didn't matter in the end. So there's a thanks for your feedback, but level at some point, even though Florida has a little bit more tenure than South Carolina. But if it's going just we're all going bonkers and everyone is just going super conference route, yeah, you want to get those schools. Clemson is actually even closer by a few miles than Georgia Tech is, campus to campus, or stadium to stadium, I should say. So that's another reason for Clemson. But Georgia Tech, you want to get into the Carolinas. I think if everyone's doing it, you want to get those brands. You don't want them to go to the Big Ten. But the SEC is going to feel like, you know what, as long as recruiting is what it is, where your population is so heavy and into football in the South, and that's where a lot of your great recruits are going, and developing in Louisiana and Georgia and Florida. Man, the SEC I don't think is going to feel like panicked or forced to do anything. So I would be surprised if it happens at least right away. But if it is going to happen, then yeah, those schools would be just fine with me.
Vince, appreciate it as always. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, I appreciate it. If anyone wants any coverage from practice, I'm there every day. We're doing practice highlights, 5 minutes of every practice. You can see all that on our website. Tons of interviews. How about this? 39 interviews in 5 days, guys. 39. Going through the entire coaching staff, going through true freshmen, like 5-6 players a day. Unbelievable what UT has brought us in terms of access. All of that at 991thesportsanimal.com in the podcast section and in the video section, or give me a follow on Twitter at Vince Sports. Some of that is there too.
Awesome. Good stuff as always. Right. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Have a great week. Appreciate you.
You too. Vince Sports, at Vince Sports. You just heard it on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And, of course, does the morning show weekdays with John Wilkerson from 6 to 9 on the Sports Animal there in Knoxville. Vince does a great job. Appreciate him. We'll come back wide open the rest of the hour. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line, how you can get in touch with our show. And we'll keep the things rolling along here on the Mcfarland Show, WNSR.
Are you ready for a touchdown of flavor and excitement? Look no further than Sam's Place and Sam's Sports Grill, the ultimate destination for great food, fantastic drinks, and game time atmosphere that will have you cheering for more. Sam's is the place for every sports fan and food lover with over 40 TVs at every location. Sam's has a family-friendly atmosphere where everyone can have a blast. From their friendly staff to awesome kids menu, they've got something for everyone. Online at samsplace.net or samsportsgrill.com, or call and find the nearest location to you. At Sam's, the game is always on and the fun never stops.
Switch to Boost Mobile and get the ultra smooth, ultra powerful iPhone 11 for $49.99.
He didn't stutter.
See every angle with dual cameras,
Make it a double.
all on America's largest 5G networks.
Large and in charge, baby.
Get with the power of Boost and get the iPhone 11 for $49.99.
That's half a Benjamin.
Boost Mobile.
Unleash your power.
ID verification required. New customers only at one per line. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
Welcome back to Total Wine. What brings you in today?
Hey, Ruthie. I need help filling the ultimate beach cooler.
Well, we have the most hard seltzers and amazing canned cocktails anywhere, like High Noon, Cutwater, White Claw, Truly, Topo Chico, Jack Daniels and Coke, Neutral Vodka Seltzer, and Cayman Jack Zero Sugar Margarita in cans.
Wow. I'm going to be the king of the cooler.
And we have them at the lowest prices in town. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, be 21.
I switched to Boost Mobile and got a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Want to know the best part?
It was free?
Nope.
The fact that it's on America's largest 5G networks?
Nope. It's the ding.
Oh yeah, love the ding.
Right? It's all about the ding. It's the dingarooski, the dingaroner, the ring-a-ding-ding.
Unleash your power to save with Boost. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone when you switch. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
And the ding.
Limited time offer. New customers only. Available on select networks. 5G not available everywhere. One device per line. Tax excluded. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs, ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you ever feel like gambling is causing financial strain or hurting your relationships? The Gambling Clinic has been helping people who want to change their gambling habits for over 2 decades. With physical clinics and remote online appointments, we're here to help you make informed decisions about your gambling so it doesn't lead to a bigger problem. Visit us at thegamblingclinic.com so we can work together to help you win your life back. This project is funded by the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
This is the Greg Vogue and John Burton Show.
DeAndre Hopkins needed a team, and the Tennessee Titans desperately needed another quality wide receiver. I think this sends a message to the fan base, at least, saying, listen, all this talk about us rebuilding, retooling, no, that's baloney. We're out here to try to compete. You know, this helps their offense significantly. It's going to help them be a lot more competitive and maybe win a game or two more.
Greg Vogue and News Channel 5's John Burton, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
You're listening to The Mcfarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
(615-844-5600) is how you get in touch with us. Phone line and text lines wide open. Darren and Justin here. Strikers Bear Family Fun Center studio. Intern Alec alongside. Good stuff from Vince Ferrara as always. One of the things that was going on Saturday night in our city was the return of the UFC. They haven't been in town in 4 years, and there was a UFC Fight Night card in Bridgestone Arena on Saturday night.
We had a very unique trio of things going on downtown Nashville.
Let's go through the checklist.
Okay, so we had the Music City Grand Prix. That's among the
Correct.
first of them that
Although
happened
they had
there.
weather issues.
They did have
some
weather
delays
issues.
and stuff on Saturday.
They did, but they were still, thousands of people still packed down there
Oh, yeah.
for that event and for the street racing there throughout the city. Then you had UFC over there at Bridgestone Arena. We all know what that's about. Then just down the block, right on the corner of, I guess that would be 4th Avenue and Broadway, there's this church-like building called the Ryman Auditorium. And they had a comedian in there that you may have heard of. His name is John Oliver. He's had a very popular show on HBO and was on The Daily Show before that. So you had John Oliver, the UFC, and the Music City Grand Prix all taking place within a block of each other. And, and there was one day, while you were gone, Darren, last week, where we had Busta Rhymes and 50 Cent performing at Bridgestone the same night that George Strait and Little Big Town and Chris Stapleton were performing at Nissan.
That's when we were leaving. That actually had weather. That had real weather issues, right? The second show.
Yeah,
in fact, they cut the show short.
George Strait had a very short set.
Yeah, I think he cut it. He cut it about halfway.
Yeah,
from what I could tell, reading people's posts and stuff that weren't happy. And look, I get it. That's it's not fun. You spend all this money on these shows, and they probably can't get that new stadium built quick enough.
I say that's where they're building this dome
to get rid of all that stuff.
Yeah.
They don't have to fool with that. But look,
but these are
you sign up for outdoor venues.
Oh yeah,
this is what you sign up for.
This is bound to happen. But these are very different events, very different crowds that would go to these types of events. But they're all happening within a few blocks of each other. So this weekend was no exception there in downtown Nashville. Just a very eclectic group.
What is amazing to me, and this is not like any earth-shattering, earth-breaking, this is not a breaking news sounder needed for this comment. But we were talking about this off the air. I was very curious to see, because, there's a lot of people that know that I did the first UFC 1 hour dedicated show in this town. In fact, Dana White told me many, many, many years ago that he thinks I was the first person on terrestrial radio to dedicate an hour to mixed martial arts talk.
Wow.
In the country.
Okay.
Back in the day. And so I've obviously been tracking this stuff, and I did it for about a decade in this market. There has been, for 20 years, only fight night cards come to Nashville.
Which
That's it.
For the good people, explain what a fight night card is versus whatever else. Okay.
I dare say, because I want to say AAA, but it's just a notch below. It's still fighters you've heard. They're still in the UFC. It's just not. The pay-per-view cards are the marquee cards, Justin, for all these people out there that like, I don't know if you're in which category you're in.
For what?
I don't know if you're asking because you're curious or you just want me to explain.
No,
it.
I
don't
want you to
know.
explain for the people, because I'm not sure everybody understands what that means.
Yeah.
I understand it to mean, and I draw it very closely to the WWE, which I know they're not the same thing. I got you. However, the WWE does a major pay-per-view event. It used to be once a season. Now I think they do one once a month.
It's expanded.
Yeah, it's expanded quite a bit. But we know their big franchises have been WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series,
Correct.
Royal Rumble. Those have been their big ones.
It's the marquee ones.
The marquee ones. And so it's the equivalent of the WWE only bringing Monday Night Raw or whatever else they're doing right now to Nashville, a house show essentially, instead of one of their big marquee events, even though the city has been very supportive for the last, 20 years or so.
Yes. And so it's just a notch below. It's just not we've never had, John Jones. We've never had, the biggest names, Conor McGregor, pick them. I mean, whoever. You want to start naming the biggest, Randy Couture. I don't want to, Chuck Liddell, all the biggest names.
Kimbo Slice, all those guys from back in the day.
Well, actually, Kimbo came through here. It was
Kimbo
with the
Clay?
CBS. It was the CBS Sports
when
that came through.
Okay.
If you, in fact, that one, the last one they ever showed on CBS, like on CBS, was here in Nashville, at Bridgestone Arena, and all what broke loose, on the main event, and that was the last one they ever did, and it was here. So they've never been here. So the marquee names, the biggest names in the sport, have never been on a card here. So again, it's no disrespect to the fighters that have come through. There's been very, very good fighters come through, but it's not as you mentioned, that was probably a pretty good example. And like you said, one is wrestling and the other one is mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
And
I understand there's a difference.
It's not
I'm not
exactly
confusing the two.
an
I got
apples
it.
to apples comparison. But to your point, the pay-per-view card is the one category that you described, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, all that stuff. The one that will probably be the first ever event in the new stadium.
It's scheduled to be the first ever event.
It's supposed to be the first ever event in the new stadium.
Yes.
We've never had one of those in 20 years. Like, everybody is clamoring to come to Nashville, and yet the UFC, for whatever reason, I've said stuff to Dana White, and I haven't talked to Dana White in a long, long time, but we used to have a great relationship. He used to come on all the time. Then obviously UFC blew up and got huge. And then, he just stopped coming on. I get it. They would say how busy he is. And okay, that's fine. I get it. But I mean, I told him to his face, like, what do you, why won't you put a pay-per-view card here? Like, why do you just keep bringing fight night cards? It's Nashville. What do you do? So obviously he didn't like that. But anyway, so I wanted to see how it would do. They haven't been here in 4 years. There really wasn't much promotion at all. Did you see much promotion?
Very little.
Very little.
Very little.
Very little promotion, really. So I was like, how did it do? Like, 4 years and very little promotion. It's another fight night card again in Nashville. I turned that sucker on Saturday night. Packed house. And it just goes to show you, the reason I'm bringing this up is this city, this market, if you don't understand, that's why, I made those little remarks about some of the mayoral races where, some of them were like, we're tired of catering to the tourists. Well, that's fine and dandy, but I think we're a little past all that. I think that horse is about 4 states over now. I think this is a prime example of basically whatever you put in Nashville, boy, you have to really mess things up for it not to work these days, because there's so many people in, this city just keeps growing and growing and growing. Yeah. And there's so many people from out of town that are here visiting. And if you're visiting somewhere and there's something cool going on,
you want to go see it,
you'll probably go to it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I know I've done it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've done it.
Sure.
Alec, you've probably done it. I mean, that's what you do. And so that just told me yet again, you didn't have, which I don't know. Maybe that's what Dana White would say to me. Well, why don't we need a pay-per-view fight? It doesn't matter what we bring to Nashville. We'll just sell it out. Why do we need to give you the best card? Yeah, well, how about you just, make things even bigger in Nashville? I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. But the point of bringing it up was I was pleasantly surprised that it was a packed house Saturday.
I do have a question in regards to this. Do they normally, they strike me as an arena type of sport. In other words, they're not doing stadiums normally. They're normally just doing arenas. Not to say they can't do a stadium, but the normal, even the pay-per-view stuff, is arena cards.
That is correct.
Arena level. Okay.
They have dabbled and they have done it. They've done, but this is what they do.
The standard stadium is what we do. Okay.
They just fill up arenas everywhere they go.
So in other words, this is not a venue issue because we got the Bridgestone Arena competes with any place on the planet for any kind of activity. So this is not a venue issue. This is just them choosing, for whatever the reason, not to put one of these things here. Okay.
Yep.
Now, I just want to.
I've never gotten an answer. Why?
Just want to double check because sometimes you guys don't have the right whatever.
There's only been one pay-per-view event from the UFC in their history in this state, and it was back at the very, very, very beginning when the state was sanctioned.
And that's Memphis.
FedEx Forum, and I was there.
And you're talking about for the UFC?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only pay-per-view that was
Because they did.
That's the only pay-per-view fight they've ever had.
They did the long-awaited Mike Tyson fight over there in Memphis as well, which was a huge pay-per-view.
Oh no,
event.
I've gone to boxing match. I went to Winky Wright and
wow, Winky Wright. Okay,
long title fight. At FedEx Forum. Many years ago.
Yeah.
Winky Wright and who's the
I'm
guy
drawing
from?
a blank, but I know
the guy from Arkansas.
I know what you're talking about. I can see
the guy from Arkansas who was the champ. Anyway. So they've had Tyson's fought. They've had huge boxing matches at FedEx Forum.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that the Tyson fight was actually at the Pyramid back in the day.
Was it?
Yeah, the big Tyson fight. I want to say it was Tyson because we've been waiting on Lennox Lewis for a long time, I think, and that was the one that was at. I could have swore it was at the Pyramid over there in Memphis, but I could be wrong. But be that as it may, we have not been a large fight community here, at least vocally. Now, the wrestling, and excuse me as I add the A to this, we are popular and have a long history with wrestling here in Nashville. And, forgive me for those who take offense to that. But, we're no secret about the territories that used to be here. The Memphis territory over there with Jerry the King Lawler. Of course, Jeff Jarrett and the wrestling that's been going on at the fairgrounds for many years. And yes, I know there's a difference between the wrestling and UFC. But it does draw, at times, a very similar audience. And so if you can have a successful WWE, WCW, ECW, whatever it is event, chances are that the UFC events also do well here. And we have a long history with wrestling here in this particular city and area here. So that does surprise me a little bit that the UFC wouldn't go a little deeper here with us.
Winky Wright, it was 2006, because that was going to drive me crazy. Jermaine Taylor. June of 2006, Jermaine Taylor.
I haven't thought about that in a long time.
Yeah, that was for a title.
Winky Wright, man.
It was for the middleweight title.
Okay.
And it was a draw, and it was just an absolute bleep show afterwards.
Yeah. Well, couldn't quite come up to an agreement, huh? Well, they came up with an agreement, but
they did.
Nobody liked the decision.
No, it was not well received at all.
Okay.
In the stands, not well received.
Boxing?
I know, shocking.
You're kidding.
I know.
Can't believe that. There's never controversial endings in those.
Greg Anderson brings up a great point on our text line. Remember, here very soon, WWE and the UFC will be owned by the same company.
Ooh, that is true.
About that. That is true. That is very true. So I don't know if that changes things.
Well, Butch Spearden, when he was on with us last, said that basically the contract was sitting on his desk and waiting for him to sign it. So I don't know if it's going to change. And they're bringing one of their marquee events, the WWE is, which would be SummerSlam for them. Or is it WrestleMania for SummerSlam? I think it's WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania. Excuse me. Which is that is their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So WrestleMania coming here in 2027.
But to his point, does that mean new ownership? Does that speed up? Well, if we're bringing WrestleMania to Nashville, then we're going to also bring pay-per-view fights for UFC.
Well, one they may not be one and the same. So
yeah, may not. Looks like Dana White's still running the show. So
yeah,
even with new ownership. All right, we'll come back. More of the Mcfarland Show next.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Tennessee needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800 800-898-6155 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-898-6155. That's 800-898-6155. What do you have to lose? Call 800-898-6155. Again, 800-898-6155.
Nashville, start your engines. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix is coming to the streets of downtown Nashville. Experience 3 days of racing, music, family fun zone, food trucks, and more. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix is August 4th through August 6th. From stadium super trucks flying through the air to open wheel IndyCar racing that turns right. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix has something for every race fan. There's music all day, every day. And don't miss the Friday and Saturday night concert under the stars. And they have rides for the kids provided by Wesley Mortgage. The streets of Music City come alive August 4th through August 6th. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix. Grab your tickets before they're gone and log on to MusicCityGP.com. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix. It's more than a race. It's a festival.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. The package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. Visit starleasing.com to learn more.
It's a Bill King Show.
Somebody asked me, this ascension of Tennessee football, is it sustainable? I think it is sustainable. Their recruiting ranking school. You can get A-plus personnel to Rocky Top, Tennessee. And the state is now way better than it ever was in its past, producing players.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
You're listening live from the Strike and Spare Studios, downtown Music City. It's the Mcfarland Show.
Titans back out today, training camp. First preseason game this Saturday in Chicago against the Bears.
The Bears.
Lots of hype. Lots of hype around those Bears. Lots of hype around two teams in that division, which is hilarious.
I think you're saying this just to irk the young man over here on the board.
No, I'm serious. The hype around Justin Fields is blowing me away.
There's a difference between the hype around Justin Fields and the Bears as a whole. There's no hype around that team as a whole. Everyone expects them not to be good this year.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
They expect them to be
picked
better
last.
than last year.
They are not picked last. No
then
way.
Third.
No.
If that's what you... I've seen a lot of people still pick
DJ
them
Moore,
last.
Justin Fields. People are out there saying Justin Fields, quietly, MVP.
Okay.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I keep going, what? What?
But these the same people saying Joe Milton for the Heisman? They're the same people?
Hey, again.
Same people, right?
Like, Vince downplayed it, but I'm
So,
just telling you,
NFL
like,
rumors.
everybody's like... I hope Joe Milton does, but I need to see it. I need to see it. Like 2 games, you can't get me to go, okay, Joe Milton has been healed. He has been healed. He is now an everyday quarterback for an entire season. I'm not willing to go there. I need to see it first. Justin Fields, boy, did he go crazy the second half of the season last year. Again, I'm not ready to say he's been healed. Justin Fields is going to be MVP.
Went crazy the second half of the season. They didn't win a game.
I know. But they went out and they traded for DJ Moore. He's a legit number one receiver.
Hold on. The Bears tanked last season. They just did. Let's just call it what it is. No, because I went to one of these games down in Atlanta and saw them. They didn't try to win that game. Not for real. No, the Bears, they traded their best players at the beginning of the year. They wanted the number 1 pick. The Bears tanked that season. I know we have a good friend of ours.
Wait a minute.
I understand.
Adamantly says nobody
I get
takes.
it. But that team last year decided that they weren't interested in winning football games down the stretch. There's no one to convince me otherwise.
I don't understand why a tanking team trades their second-round pick for Chase Claypool. Can you wrap your head around that?
Well, they thought that they were going to try to get a come-up wide receiver. They made a bad evaluation.
I guess. That was horrible.
But they traded guys who had high pedigrees there early on in an effort to get bad. And it worked. It worked. And so they're not. And so I'm convinced anyway that the Chicago Bears weren't very interested in winning football games down the stretch of last season. Now, are they going to be better this year? Well, they had the number one pick in the draft, so I don't know how they're not better.
Well, they
didn't pick number one.
They gave it away.
Yeah.
They traded away.
They had the number one pick in the draft last year, so I don't know how they had the worst record in football last year. That's what you get the number one pick with that, right?
Yeah.
They had the worst record in football. How often do you get the worst record in football 2 years in a row?
Cleveland did it a couple years ago.
How often do the Bears do it? How often do teams not named Detroit and Cleveland do it? Right. Okay, all right. Let's say, please don't throw rocks. Don't
Actually,
do that.
the Lions have had the number one pick once in my life. So they've only been the worst team in the league once.
Calvin Johnson.
He was number 2.
Was he number 2?
Yes, he was number 2 because you know who went first that year?
Wait a minute, hold on.
I don't.
One of the biggest busts
I was going to say,
ever.
Was that Jamarcus Russell?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, well.
Of course, it was the Raiders. Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow. Jamarcus Russell over Calvin Johnson. Yikes.
Anyway,
He could have played tackle by the end of his career. He was so big.
End of his career. I'm not
In
so
the
sure
middle
it was
of
the
the
end. May have been towards the beginning.
Who was that Kentucky quarterback that could have played offensive line?
Jared Lorenzen.
Jared Lorenzen. R.I.P. to Jared
Rest in
Lorenzen.
peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, he was a big boy.
He was.
But, okay. I'm not saying that people are saying they're going to win it because I get it. The Vikings, the Packers are obviously going to take a step back. Everybody's got Lions fever, including Alec. So I get all that, but I keep hearing people talking about Justin Fields and the Bears and DJ Moore and oh my gosh, and they gave Cole Kmet, their tight end, all kinds of money, and oh my gosh, here come the Bears.
I do think their running back room kind of went down a peg, losing David Montgomery. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
And now they have
He's hurt a lot.
Deontay Foreman and Khalil Herbert. He's had 1,000 yards every year. Like not rushing, but just all purpose. Behind a bad offensive line. Now he's playing behind a top 5 offensive line.
Listen, we know something about Deontay Foreman around here.
Yeah. And he was, here he looked good for 9 games.
Yeah.
Looked great
for
9 games.
A lot of people thought he should have played the 10th game.
I don't want to poo-poo. Wow.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're
talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Don't sit over there and act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
All right.
1,000 all-purpose yards is not really that much, man.
Behind one of the worst offensive lines in the league.
That's like 64 yards rushing and passing a game.
Fair enough.
Is that really? Yeah, is that anything to like? Whoa!
I'm just curious what he'll do behind a top 5 offensive line because he's never played with that kind of offensive line before.
Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna obviously make our division picks and we'll do all that and by the way, Hard Knocks starts tomorrow night.
Yeah,
the Jets and Browns have kicked off the preseason with the Hall of Fame game over the weekend, so we'll get hot and heavy. All right, we'll come back. We'll hear a little bit of what Mike Vrabel. Speaking of that game, he announced something today.
He did
concerning that first preseason game. We'll hear that to close up shop here on this Monday as you listen to the Mcfarland Show, Nashville Sports Radio.
In a single moment, everything can change. When a player's sudden cardiac event brought a national football game to a halt, it shone a spotlight on the importance of CPR readiness. Now, with youth sports in full swing, the American Heart Association is rallying parents and coaches to be ready in an emergency. To be ready, learn hands-only CPR. It's a skill anyone can learn in minutes. Visit heart.org/hands-only CPR and become a lifesaver today.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
Hello, class. I'm from the Tennessee Lottery and your professor for the next 30 seconds. So where do proceeds from playing the Tennessee Lottery go? If you answered education, you're at the top of your class. The Tennessee Lottery has raised more than $7 billion for education programs like Hope Scholarships, Tennessee Promise, and much more. Now for some easy homework, go to tnlottery.com and see how the Tennessee Lottery helps students.
In honor of the dog days of summer, I've asked my best friend to tell you a little bit about the new August instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. Take it away, Buster. Wow, Buster says there are 4 new games to choose from. And you can win up to $1 million. Wow, I can't repeat that on the radio. Sorry, he just saw a squirrel.
Gather up all your best friends and play the new August instant games, only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Bartlett's Automotive Service is on the air reminding drivers to never text and drive or drink and drive. Slow down in and around our school zones and always buckle up. This message is brought to you by Bartlett's Automotive Service. For the best in all your automotive needs, call the professionals today at 615-833-8206. That's 615-833-8206. Bartlett's Automotive Service. They're professionals who care.
It's the Mcfarland Show with Darren Mcfarland and Fox 17's Justin Mcfarland.
What's the right number of targets for DeAndre Hopkins in a game?
So for him to have the 5 or 6 catches a game that I need him to have in order to be successful, to me, you got to target him at least 9 or 10 times a game.
My number was 8.
Okay.
He has to be targeted at least 8 times a game. Again, you don't bring in these guys to be decoys.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
The Mcfarland Show. Video streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube from the Strike and Spare studio.
Mike Vrabel spoke after practice today. Here's a couple minutes of what he had to say.
Just real quick here, I told the team and everybody involved here at the organization, but Terrell Williams will act as the head coach for Chicago starting on Friday. So I think this is a great opportunity for him and for us and everybody involved. So Big T will handle that. Clint will handle the defensive line, and so that'll start on Friday. So you guys can handle that through Robbie and the communication when you talk to Big T and kind of steer it towards that. And he'll talk to you after the game, and I'll come back on Sunday and visit with you guys. So go ahead, Teresa.
Hopefully your absence isn't due to anything.
Oh, no, I'll be here. No, I'm going to be here.
So is it more to give Terrell the opportunity and exposure to acting as a head coach and helping that? I mean, and how valuable is that?
Well, again, that'll be something that you'll have to ask him afterwards. But I just think that him dealing and talking with the trainer and again, we'll have a lot of conversations between now and Friday, but just handling things with the roster and discussing those things with the assistant coaches and how we want to play the game or letting them make those decisions in the game. And we'll go into the game with things that we think we need to try to get done, and I'm sure he'll try to do that, and I'll help him where need be. But I do think it'll be a great opportunity, well deserved, and so this is something that I wanted to do.
What will you do?
Well, I mean, I'll obviously be involved and coach the guys on technique and, help T where I can, or, if there's, a question or concern, but try to help him understand that role and what's required.
So that's just a little snippet of, I don't want to say bombshell. It's a preseason game, but it is a little bit of a bombshell.
A little surprising.
Like, Terrell Williams is going to be coaching guys. Just FYI, the game against the Bears. I mean, I'm going to be there. I'm just going to be, helping out.
He doesn't have a family emergency. He's not going anywhere. They're basically trading places, essentially. Like Mike Vrabel is going to become the defensive line coach, is what it sounds like. And,
no, he said Clint is going to be handling the D-line.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry. Well, he said he was going to be coaching technique and things. So
he'll just
that's
be
what
kind
made
of
me
a
think.
roaming coach.
Okay. All right.
But I tried to think about this today before we got on the air. Does this happen in preseason games? Like, I don't feel like it does, right?
No.
We haven't seen coaches be like, hey, I'm turning the duties over to one of my assistants, and they're going to coach this game, and I'm just going to be around, talking to the guys and helping out.
Exposure.
Yeah, help it. Oh.
Now, listen.
Wow. By the way, how much do we know about Terrell Williams?
Not a whole lot, but he's been around football since 1998, the same year we met, Darren. So he has spent time with several organizations, including the Raiders, the Dolphins, and the Titans there. So, listen, I think he'll know what to do, kind of. But, I wonder how long this has been in the works. That's what I really wonder.
Yeah.
We'll learn a lot more.
We will definitely talk about this more tomorrow. It's a pretty interesting thing that came out of Titans training camp today. That is going to do it for our Monday show. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow starting at 2. See you then.